the last section, we started to discuss how we could use Redux Thunk to get more flexibility out of our action creators. So enough with the lectures. I know the last like 5 or so have been a lot of talking. Let's just wire this thing up and see how it works. So remember, the golden rule of Redux is that nothing happens for free, and that certainly applies to Redux Thunk as well. So before our application can actually use it, we have to wire it up. We have to tell Redux, please make use of Redux Thunk over here. So we're going to do that inside of our app file. So here is my app component right here. I'm going to import Redux Thunk from Redux Thunk. While I'm here, I'm also going to clean up my React Native tags. I'm not using these anymore, so I'm just going to dump them real quick. Okay, Redux Thunk itself is what is called a middleware. So that is the part that we're actually wiring up here. We are wiring up a middleware to our Redux application. To include any type of middleware, we have to import a helper from Redux Thunk as well, called apply middleware. And as you might imagine, apply middleware is what allows us to take a middleware and tell Redux to actually make use of this thing. So now down inside of our render method, I'm going to find our store. So here's our store right here. Here's the create store call. I'm going to add on a second argument of null, excuse me, empty object, not null. And then a third argument of apply middleware. And I'm going to pass that Redux Thunk. Now this is a really long line of code right here, so I'm going to cut this out, declare the store ahead of time. I'm going to, there we go, more legible, and then pass the store in. As a little bit of background, the second argument right here is for any initial state that we might want to pass to our Redux application. So if we had some like imaginary property like, you know, maybe I wanted to pre-populate the email and password flag for my auth reducer, I could pass that in right here. Totally optional, something that we don't do too common, mostly applicable to server-side rendering actually. Then the third argument here is what are called store enhancers. So this apply middleware call with Redux Thunk is what we refer to as a store enhancer because it is adding additional functionality to the store. Anyways, just a little bit of off-topic stuff. So this is how we wire up Redux Thunk. Now that we've installed it, we can actually make use of it inside of a reducer, excuse me, action creator. So here is my action creator file. I've got my login user action creator right here. And again, I'm going to skimp on the lecture a little bit. We're just going to throw up how this thing works right here and then talk about how it works. So between or right after the action creator opening brace over here, I'm going to add a new line. I'm going to say return dispatch. And I'm going to wrap that entire Firebase call in a fat arrow function. Okay, so there we go. So this is where the syntax starts to get a little bit hairy. So do be sure to double check your syntax here. I've got return dispatch, an opening curly brace, the authentication call, and then the closing curly brace down here. Okay. So that's it. That's Redux Thunk in action, right? Well, yeah, maybe. What's actually going on here? What impact does this really have on our app, right? That's what we have to really figure out. So let's check out a diagram and see what Redux Thunk is really going to be doing for us. So this is a little bit of a nasty diagram, just because there's a lot of steps to it, but just bear with me for a moment. So now that we have Redux Thunk, this whole flow of calling an action creator is going to change up just a little bit. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to call the action creator. The action creator is now going to return a function. So that is what we just added in. Our action creator is now returning a function. When that function is returned, Redux Thunk is going to see it. It's going to say, they returned a function from that action creator. And it will immediately call the function with the dispatch method, right? And remember that the dispatch method is what actually sends actions off to all the different reducers in our application. So Redux Thunk's kind of purpose in here is to just say, they return an action from that action creator and then immediately call that function. Or excuse me, they return a function from the action creator, it immediately calls that function. There we go. So once Redux Thunk calls the action or calls the function we returned, we will then start our login request. We'll say, hey Firebase, try to sign us in, please. And then we're going to sit there and wait a little bit longer, and then eventually, when the request is complete and the user is logged in, our dot then runs, And inside of the .then, we will manually dispatch our action. So this last step right here is the entire key to it. It's the entire key. This entire thing works by recognizing that, hey, some asynchronous action is going to happen here, and we cannot immediately return an action. By giving us access to dispatch, we can call dispatch at any point in time, like inside of the .then or inside of the .catch, wherever we want to. And at that point in time, we can manually dispatch an action instead of waiting for, or instead of immediately returning action from the action creator itself. So let's take a quick break, come back, and test out this implementation in the next section.